Welcome, dear traveler, to a gentle journey through time and ancient lands. Tonight, we'll drift together across the vast expanse of the Persian Empire, one of history's most magnificent civilizations. Before we begin our peaceful exploration, let's settle into this moment. Find a comfortable position, allowing your body to sink deeply into your resting place. Close your eyes softly, and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it gently, and now release it slowly through your mouth. Let all the tension of the day flow away with that breath. Take another deep breath, feeling your chest rise and fall naturally. With each exhale, you're becoming more relaxed, more peaceful, ready to embark on our tranquil voyage through ancient Persia. Tonight, we'll wander together through 20 gentle chapters, each one a doorway into the remarkable world of the Persian Empire. We'll walk softly through sun-drenched palaces of Persepolis, glide peacefully along the royal road that connected distant lands, and drift through the stories of wise kings and their vast, diverse realm. You'll discover how this great empire stretched from the shores of the Mediterranean, across the rolling hills of Mesopotamia, to the distant mountains of India, all united under the gentle rule of Persian kings who respected the customs and beliefs of their many peoples. As we journey together, there's no need to remember every detail. Simply let the stories wash over you like warm, golden sand. Allow the ancient wisdom and peaceful conquests to carry you toward the deepest, most restorative sleep. Our path will wind through fragrant gardens, past whispering date palms, along ancient trade routes where caravans once carried precious silks and spices. Each step takes you further from the present moment, deeper into tranquil rest. The Persian Empire awaits, vast and serene, ready to enfold you in its timeless embrace. Breathe deeply, and let the journey begin. Chapter 1. The Rise of Cyrus, the Great Founder. Let us drift now to the ancient land of Persia, where the warm desert winds carry whispers of a remarkable story. In the heart of what we now call Iran, among rolling hills dotted with olive groves and cypress trees, a legend was born that would reshape the ancient world. Picture yourself walking slowly through the fertile valleys of Anshan, where the morning mist clings gently to terraced gardens. The air is sweet with the fragrance of pomegranate blossoms and wild jasmine. Here, around 600 BCE, in this peaceful cradle of civilization, a child named Cyrus came into the world, destined to become one of history's most benevolent conquerors. Feel the soft earth beneath your feet as we wander through his early years. The young Cyrus grew up among the Achaemenid clan, learning the ancient Persian values of truth, justice, and respect for all peoples. His grandfather, Astyages, ruled the mighty Median Empire, but according to legend, a prophetic dream warned that this grandson would one day surpass his power. Breathe deeply as we move through the sun-dappled courtyards where young Cyrus trained. The sound of flowing fountains mingles with the gentle clash of bronze weapons. Here he learned not just the arts of war, but the deeper wisdom of leadership. His tutors taught him that a true king rules not through fear, but through understanding and compassion. As you relax more deeply, imagine the vast landscape of ancient Mesopotamia spreading before us. The great cities of Babylon and Nineveh glimmer like jewels in the distance, while closer to home, the Persian tribes tend their flocks among fragrant meadows. This was a world where empires rose and fell like the tide, where the Lydians controlled the western trade routes, and where the Babylonians held sway over the Fertile Crescent. Now watch as the mature Cyrus emerges, around 550 BCE. Ready to unite the scattered Persian tribes under one peaceful banner. His revolution against his grandfather Astyages was swift but merciful, for Cyrus understood that lasting power comes not from crushing one's enemies, but from winning their hearts. The Median nobles, expecting harsh punishment, instead found themselves welcomed as brothers, their customs respected, their positions honored. Feel the cool evening breeze as we witness Cyrus's expanding influence. Unlike the brutal conquerors before him, he moved across the ancient world like a gentle tide. When he conquered the fabulously wealthy kingdom of Lydia, he spared King Croesus and made him an advisor. When he liberated Babylon, he freed the Jewish exiles and helped them rebuild their temple in Jerusalem, earning him the title of Messiah, the Anointed One. The Persian Empire under Cyrus became a tapestry of cultures. Languages and religions flourished freely under his protection. The scent of frankincense from Arabia mingled with spices from India, while Greek merchants traded peacefully alongside Phoenician sailors. This was tolerance made manifest, a revolutionary idea that would echo through the centuries. As this first chapter draws to a close, let yourself sink deeper into tranquil rest, feeling the warm desert sand shifting gently beneath you. The great Cyrus has shown us that true strength lies in compassion, that lasting empires are built on respect rather than fear. His legacy stretches before us like an endless caravan route, filled with wonders yet to discover. Let the gentle rhythm of camel bells fade into the distance, as we prepare to explore deeper into this magnificent empire. Your breathing grows slower and more peaceful, ready for the next stage of our journey. Chapter 2. Persepolis, City of Kings. Drift now with me to the most magnificent jewel of the Persian Empire, the breathtaking city of Persepolis. Let your mind float gently across the windswept plateau of Fars, where the ancient kings chose to build their eternal monument to Persian glory. Feel the cool mountain air caressing your face as we approach this wonder of the ancient world. Picture yourself walking slowly up the grand ceremonial stairway, each step carved from luminous gray limestone, worn smooth by countless royal processions over the centuries. The massive stone blocks fit together so perfectly that not even a knife blade could slip between them. Your fingers trail along the intricate reliefs, feeling the cool marble beneath your touch. Lions and bulls dance eternally in stone, their forms so lifelike they seem to breathe in the golden afternoon light. As we ascend higher, the vast audience hall of Darius comes into view. Imagine standing beneath its soaring columns, each one reaching 65 feet toward the azure Persian sky. These towering pillars are crowned with magnificent capitals, carved in the shape of bulls and lions, their stone eyes gazing serenely across the empire they once protected. The hall could hold 10,000 people, all gathered to witness the majesty of the King of Kings. Feel the warm desert breeze flowing through the hall of 100 columns, where the afternoon sun creates dancing patterns of light and shadow. The wooden ceiling beams have long since crumbled to dust, but in your peaceful imagination, you can see the rich cedar from Lebanon, the gold leaf that once gleamed like captured sunlight, the precious stones that sparkled like earthbound stars. Breathe deeply as we wander through the private quarters of Darius and Xerxes. Here in these intimate chambers, the great kings once walked on carpets woven with threads of gold. The walls were adorned with glazed brick reliefs, depicting the eternal spring garden of paradise. Peacocks strutted through painted groves of pomegranate trees, while crystal streams flowed endlessly through emerald meadows. Let your consciousness drift to the treasury, where the wealth of 23 nations once lay stored in peaceful abundance. Imagine the soft gleam of silver from the mountains of Anatolia, the warm glow of gold from Lydia, precious stones from India that captured the light like frozen rainbows. Ivory from Africa, ebony from Nubia, all flowing peacefully into this center of the civilized world. As twilight approaches, watch the procession of tribute bearers carved forever in stone along the eastern stairway. Delegates from across the known world climb eternally toward the throne room. Babylonians carry bolts of finest cloth. Armenians lead horses with flowing manes. Indians present vessels of gold. Ethiopians bear elephant tusks and exotic animals. Each figure moves with dignified grace, representing the voluntary submission of free peoples to Persian rule. Feel the cool evening air as we stand on the terrace, gazing out across the Marv-dashed plain. The Zagros Mountains rise like purple shadows in the distance, while below, the fertile valley stretches endlessly toward the horizon. This was the view that Persian kings enjoyed for over 2 centuries, a vista of peace and prosperity, of gardens and flowing streams, of a world united under the banner of tolerance and wisdom. The very stones of Persepolis whisper stories of New Year celebrations, when representatives from every corner of the empire gathered here in joyful harmony. The scent of frankincense and myrrh filled the air, while musicians played gentle melodies on harps and flutes. The sound of many languages blended into a symphony of hum and diversity, all united under the benevolent gaze of Ahura Mazda, the wise lord who blessed this empire of light. As this chapter draws to its peaceful close, let yourself become one with these eternal stones. Feel your breathing synchronize with the ancient rhythms of this sacred place. The marble columns stand as silent sentinels, guarding the dreams of kings who believed in justice and truth. Their legacy flows through you now like warm honey, sweet and golden and infinitely calming. The stars begin to appear above Persepolis, the same constellations that once guided Persian armies across vast distances, bringing not destruction, but the gift of civilization to distant lands. Let their gentle light carry you deeper into restful sleep. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient peace settle into your very bones. Chapter 3. The Achaemenid Dynasty, royal lineage. Let us drift now through the golden threads of time, following the noble bloodline that would rule the greatest empire the ancient world had ever known. Feel yourself floating gently through the mist-covered valleys of ancient Persia, where the Achaemenid dynasty first took root like a mighty cedar, destined to spread its protective branches across 3 continents. Picture the legendary Achaemenes himself, the founding patriarch whose name would echo through centuries. Walking slowly through sun-dappled groves of olive trees, his descendants learned the sacred principles that would guide their empire: truth, righteousness, and the divine mandate to bring order to the world. The warm desert winds carry whispers of their ancient motto: good thoughts, good words, good deeds, a philosophy that would shape the destiny of millions. Breathe deeply as we follow the royal line through Tispes, who first claimed the title King of Anshan. Feel the cool marble beneath your feet as you wander through his modest palace, where Persian nobles gathered around flickering oil lamps, their voices soft with reverence as they spoke of their growing power. The scent of cedar wood and frankincense fills the evening air, while outside, the eternal flames of Zoroastrian fire altars dance against the starlit sky. Now let your consciousness drift to Cyrus I, grandfather of the great conqueror. In his peaceful reign, the foundations of empire were quietly laid. Imagine walking through terraced gardens where pomegranate trees heavy with crimson fruit cast gentle shadows. Here the young princes learned statecraft, studying the delicate art of ruling diverse peoples with wisdom rather than force. The sound of flowing fountains mingles with the soft rustle of silk robes, as court scribes record the genealogies that will legitimize future conquests. Feel the golden light of dawn as we witness the rise of Cambyses I, father of Cyrus the Great. His marriage to a Median princess united 2 great bloodlines, like rivers flowing together to create a mighty stream. Picture the wedding procession moving slowly across flower-strewn courtyards. Persian and Median nobles walking side by side, their ceremonial robes shimmering with threads of gold and silver. This union would birth the greatest conqueror the world had ever seen. As we continue our gentle journey, watch the dynasty reach its magnificent flowering under Darius the Great. The royal bloodline spreads like branches of an ancient tree, each prince and princess carrying the sacred fire of Achaemenid destiny. In the Hall of Mirrors at Persepolis, their portraits gaze eternally from walls of polished obsidian, their eyes reflecting the wisdom of generations. Let yourself float through the royal workshops where master craftsmen create the symbols of dynasty. Golden seals bearing the winged symbol of Ahura Mazda, carved cylinder seals that will authenticate royal decrees across vast distances. The gentle tapping of hammers on precious metals creates a soothing rhythm, while artisans work by the light of oil lamps, their skilled hands shaping the regalia that will crown kings for 2 centuries. Breathe slowly as we witness the sacred coronation rituals, passed down through generations of Achaemenid rulers. In the fire temple at Nekhushi-Rustum, where the tombs of kings are carved into living rock, the new monarch receives the blessing of the wise lord. The high priest's voice echoes softly through stone chambers, while sacred flames cast dancing shadows on walls adorned with royal inscriptions. Feel the weight of the golden crown as it passes from father to son, each ruler adding his own chapter to the dynasty's story. Xerxes the Great, who led 1,000,000 men across the Hellespont. Artaxerxes the Long-Handed, who ruled with justice for 46 peaceful years. Each name inscribed in cuneiform on tablets of gold, their deeds recorded for eternity in 3 languages. Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian, the royal bloodline flows like liquid gold through the veins of history, connecting the humble shepherds of ancient Anshan to the masters of the civilized world. In the royal necropolis, their tombs face the rising sun, eternal monuments to a dynasty that believed kingship was a sacred trust, a divine responsibility to bring light to the darkness of the world. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let the golden light of the Achaemenid legacy wash over you. Feel yourself becoming part of this eternal royal procession, walking slowly through corridors of time where the footsteps of kings still echo. Their wisdom flows through you now, like warm honey, sweet with the knowledge that true nobility comes not from birth alone, but from service to justice and truth. The desert stars shine down on their eternal resting places, the same constellations that once guided their armies to victory. Let their celestial light carry you deeper into peaceful slumber. Breathe slowly, and let that royal serenity settle into your dreams. Chapter 4. The Royal Road, Highway of Empire. Let us journey now along the greatest highway of the ancient world, the magnificent royal road that stretched like a golden thread across the Persian Empire. Feel yourself drifting gently onto this ancient pathway, where for over 2 centuries, messengers and merchants, diplomats and pilgrims traveled in peaceful procession from the royal capital of Susa to the western city of Sardis. Picture yourself standing at the eastern terminus in Susa, the administrative heart of the empire. The morning sun casts long shadows across the paved courtyard where the royal road begins. Smooth limestone blocks stretch endlessly westward, each stone carefully fitted by master craftsmen. The air is sweet with the fragrance of jasmine from the palace gardens, while the gentle sound of fountains mingles with the soft jingle of harness bells as the royal messengers prepare for their journey. Breathe deeply as we begin our tranquil passage, walking slowly beside the swift Persian couriers. These elite horsemen could traverse the entire 1,600 miles in just 7 days, changing mounts at each of the 111 relay stations that dotted the route like pearls on a silken cord. Feel the cool morning breeze as we pass the first way station, where fresh horses stamp eagerly in stone-paved courtyards, their breath visible in the crisp dawn air. As we drift westward, the landscape unfolds like an ancient tapestry. Rolling hills covered in wild poppies give way to fertile valleys where date palms sway gently in the desert wind. At each relay station, comfortable lodgings await the weary traveler. Picture yourself resting in a shaded courtyard, sipping cool water from ceramic cups while Persian guards in flowing robes maintain their eternal vigilance. The scent of grilled lamb and fresh bread drifts from the kitchens, where cooks prepare meals for travelers from every corner of the known world. Feel the rhythm of our peaceful journey as we cross the great rivers of Mesopotamia. The Tigris flows beneath us on bridges built of cedar and stone, its waters reflecting the golden light of afternoon. Babylonian merchants guide laden camels across the span, their cargo of silk and spices destined for markets in distant Lydia. The sound of many languages creates a gentle symphony, Aramaic mixing with Persian, Greek blending with Phoenician, all united by the common bond of imperial commerce. Let your consciousness drift through the mountain passes of the Zagros, where the road winds like a serpent through valleys carved by ancient glaciers. Here the air grows thin and cool, scented with pine and wild thyme. Stone guardhouses perch on rocky outcrops, their Persian sentries watching over the endless stream of imperial traffic. Eagles soar overhead on thermal currents, their cries echoing softly through canyons where wildflowers bloom in hidden meadows. Breathe slowly as we approach the halfway point at Ecbatana, the summer capital where Persian kings escaped the heat of the lowlands. The road broadens into a magnificent avenue lined with towering cypress trees, their dark green branches providing blessed shade for travelers. Marble milestones mark each parasang, roughly 3.5 miles, their inscriptions carved in 3 scripts to serve the empire's diverse peoples. Feel the warm afternoon sun as we continue through the highlands of Anatolia, where the road crosses endless steppes dotted with grazing sheep. Kurdish shepherds wave from distant hillsides, their flocks moving like clouds across the golden grassland. At evening, we rest at way stations built around natural springs, where the water bubbles up cool and sweet from deep underground. The stars appear one by one in the clear mountain air, the same constellations that have guided travelers for countless generations. As we near our western destination, the landscape softens into the fertile valleys of Lydia. Olive groves stretch to the horizon, their silver-green leaves shimmering in the gentle breeze. Vineyards heavy with purple grapes climb the terraced hillsides, while in the distance, the white walls of Sardis gleam like ivory in the setting sun. The royal road has carried us safely across an empire, connecting east and west in bonds of commerce and communication. Picture the final way station, where travel-worn messengers dismount for the last time, their precious dispatches bearing the seal of the King of Kings finally reaching their destination. The Great Road has served its purpose, carrying not just letters and goods, but ideas and cultures, languages and customs, binding together the most diverse empire the world had ever known. In the gathering twilight, feel the ancient stones beneath your feet, worn smooth by millions of footsteps. Each block tells a story of connection, of the Persian genius for organization that made such vast distances seem small. The road stretches behind us like a ribbon of starlight, linking the civilizations of the world in peaceful unity. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself become one with this eternal highway. Feel the rhythm of countless journeys flowing through your peaceful dreams. The royal road continues its silent service, carrying you now toward deeper rest. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient pathway guide you into tranquil slumber. Chapter 5. Pasargadae. Cyrus' eternal rest. Drift now with me to the sacred valley of Pasargadae, where the great Cyrus chose to build his eternal resting place. Feel yourself floating gently across the windswept plateau of Foz, where wild grass bends softly in the mountain breeze, and ancient stones hold the memory of the world's first great liberator. Here in this peaceful sanctuary, the King of Kings sleeps beneath the endless Persian sky. Picture yourself walking slowly through the remains of Cyrus' palace gardens, where once 4 rivers flowed in perfect symmetry through paradise on earth. The Persian word, paradisa, whispers on the wind, meaning the walled garden, the earthly reflection of divine perfection. Feel the cool grass beneath your feet as you wander along channels where crystal water once carried the music of eternity. Pomegranate trees heavy with ruby fruit cast dappled shadows, while the scent of wild roses drifts through the afternoon air. Breathe deeply as we approach the simple tomb that holds the remains of history's most benevolent conqueror. Rising from the plain like a small mountain, 6 massive limestone blocks support the burial chamber where Cyrus has rested for over 2 millennia. No grand pyramid or elaborate mausoleum, but a monument of noble simplicity, reflecting the humble wisdom of the man who freed the enslaved and honored all faiths. Feel the warm stone beneath your fingers as you trace the ancient masonry. Each block fitted with such precision that no mortar was needed. The craftsmanship speaks of reverence, of artisans who understood they were creating something sacred. The tomb stands 25 feet high, its peaked roof pointing toward heaven, where Ahura Mazda, the wise Lord, welcomes the souls of the righteous. Let your consciousness drift to the inscription that once graced the tomb's entrance. O man, whoever you are and wherever you come from, for I know you will come. I am Cyrus who won the Persians their empire. Do not therefore begrudge me this bit of earth that covers my bones. These words, carved in stone, speak across the centuries with gentle humility, the final message of a king who conquered through compassion. As the golden afternoon light slants across the valley, imagine Alexander the Great standing here in reverence. The young Macedonian conqueror, master of the known world, wept when he found the tomb desecrated by thieves. He ordered its restoration, recognizing in Cyrus a kindred spirit, though one far greater in wisdom and mercy. The sound of his soldiers' hammers echoes softly as they repair the damage, their work a tribute from one conqueror to another. Picture the Magian priests who once tended this sacred site, their white robes flowing in the mountain breeze as they performed the daily rituals. Each dawn they brought fresh flowers, roses and jasmine from the royal gardens. Their chanted prayers in ancient Avestan rise like incense toward the morning stars. The eternal flame burns steadily in its bronze brazier, never extinguished, a beacon of the light that Cyrus brought to the world. Feel the peace that settles over this valley as evening approaches. The Zagros mountains rise like purple guardians in the distance, their peaks touched with rose and gold by the setting sun. Shepherds guide their flocks across distant meadows, their bells creating a gentle symphony that has echoed here since Cyrus walked these paths. The same stars that witnessed his victories now shine down on his eternal rest. Breathe slowly as we sit in quiet contemplation beside the tomb. Here lies the man who wrote the first charter of human rights, who freed the Jewish exiles from Babylon, who allowed conquered peoples to keep their customs and beliefs. His legacy flows through the centuries like an underground river, surfacing in every act of tolerance, every gesture of mercy, every law that protects the innocent. The wind carries whispers of gratitude from across the ancient world. Babylonians blessing the king who freed them from tyranny. Jews singing psalms to the Messiah who restored their temple. Greeks honoring the ruler who showed them a different way to govern. All their voices blend into a chorus of remembrance, soft as a lullaby, eternal as the stars. In the gathering darkness, feel the presence of Cyrus himself, not as a conquering king, but as a gentle spirit watching over all who seek justice and peace. His tomb stands as a lighthouse in the ocean of time, guiding future generations toward the shores of wisdom. The limestone blocks glow softly in the starlight, warm with the accumulated prayers of pilgrims from every age. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this eternal vigil. Feel your breathing synchronize with the ancient rhythms of this sacred place. The great king's final rest becomes your own peaceful slumber. His legacy of compassion flows through your dreams like honey, sweet and golden and infinitely calming. The desert stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance, the same constellations that once guided Persian armies on missions of liberation. Let their gentle light carry you deeper into restorative sleep. Breathe slowly, and let that sacred peace settle into your very soul. Chapter 6. The Immortals. Elite warriors drift now into the ranks of the most legendary soldiers in ancient history, the Persian Immortals. Feel yourself walking quietly through their training grounds at dawn, where 10,000 elite warriors prepare for another day of service to the King of Kings. The morning mist rises gently from the parade ground, while the soft sound of bronze against bronze creates a peaceful rhythm as they practice their ancient drills. Picture these magnificent guardsmen in their ceremonial splendor. Each warrior stands tall and proud, his flowing robes of finest silk catching the golden light of sunrise. Their spears gleam like silver reeds, each one topped with a pomegranate of gold or silver, symbols of fertility and abundance. The gentle breeze carries the scent of cedar oil from their polished shields, while their beards, meticulously groomed, frame faces marked by quiet dignity and unwavering loyalty. Breathe deeply as we observe their sacred formation. Always exactly 10,000 strong. When one immortal fell in battle or grew too old to serve, another immediately took his place, like stars in the eternal constellation of Persian power. Feel the reverence in their movements as they perform the morning prayers, facing the rising sun, their voices joining in soft harmony as they honor Ahura Mazda, the wise lord who guides their steps. Let your consciousness drift through their comfortable encampment. Unlike common soldiers who slept on hard ground, the immortals rested in silk pavilions, their meals prepared by personal servants who followed the army in covered wagons. Picture yourself walking between rows of colorful tents, where the aroma of roasted lamb and saffron rice mingles with frankincense burning in bronze censers. The sound of quiet conversation in melodious Persian creates a soothing backdrop to the evening calm. Feel the weight of their magnificent weapons. Each immortal carries a bow of horn and sinew, capable of sending arrows with deadly precision across vast distances. Their quivers hold 30 arrows, each one fletched with eagle feathers and tipped with bronze. At their sides hang curved swords of finest steel, forged in the workshops of Damascus, while their left arms bear wicker shields covered in leather and reinforced with bronze bosses that gleam like small suns. As we move deeper into their world, watch the immortals practice their legendary archery. The twang of bowstrings creates a gentle percussion as arrows fly in perfect formation toward distant targets. Their movements flow like water, each gesture refined through years of patient training. These are not mere soldiers but artists of war, their deadly skills tempered by Persian ideals of honor and mercy. Picture their role in the great ceremonial processions at Persepolis. 10,000 warriors in perfect formation, their colorful robes creating a living tapestry as they march slowly up the grand stairway. Sunlight glints from their golden spear points, while their measured steps echo softly against the marble columns. Foreign ambassadors watch in silent awe, understanding that they witness not just military might, but the disciplined beauty of Persian civilization. Breathe slowly as we witness their loyalty to the throne. Through the reigns of Cyrus, Darius, and Xerxes, the immortals served as the beating heart of the empire. They crossed the Hellespont into Greece, their ranks unbroken despite the chaos of foreign campaigns. At Thermopylae, they faced the Spartan warriors with courage, their Persian honor intact even in defeat. Their dedication flowed not from fear but from genuine devotion to their king and their ancient way of life. Feel the evening peace settling over their quarters. As darkness falls, the immortals gather around small fires, sharing stories of distant lands and fallen comrades. Their voices carry the soft cadences of ancient Persia, speaking of home, of families waiting in far-off villages, of the sacred duty that binds them together. The stars appear one by one overhead, the same constellations that have watched over Persian warriors for generations. In the flickering firelight, see the humanity beneath their martial splendor. These elite soldiers were also fathers and sons, poets and philosophers, men who understood that true strength comes not from the sword alone but from the righteousness of one's cause. Their weapons rest peacefully beside them, tools of a greater purpose, instruments in the symphony of imperial order. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself join their quiet vigil. Feel the camaraderie of these eternal guardians flowing through your peaceful dreams. Their disciplined serenity becomes your own, their unwavering loyalty a model for your own inner strength. The immortals continue their watch through the corridors of time, protecting not just an empire but an ideal of noble service. The campfires burn low, casting dancing shadows on tent walls, while the desert wind carries whispers of ancient Persian lullabies. Let their warriors' peace settle into your bones. Breathe slowly, and let that timeless tranquility guide you into deeper rest. Chapter 7. Darius the Great, Administrator King. Drift now into the presence of history's greatest organizer. Darius the Great. Feel yourself walking softly through the marble halls of Persepolis, where the third Achaemenid king transformed a collection of conquered territories into the world's most efficiently governed empire. The morning light filters through tall windows, casting gentle patterns on walls adorned with reliefs of tribute bearers from 23 nations. Picture Darius in his private study, surrounded by scrolls of papyrus and clay tablets. His keen eyes scan reports from distant satrapies, while scribes work quietly at low tables, their reed pens scratching softly against parchment. The air is sweet with the scent of cedar wood and frankincense, while outside, the eternal flames of Zoroastrian altars dance in bronze braziers, symbols of the divine order he brought to the world. Breathe deeply as we witness his revolutionary administrative system. The vast empire divided into 20 satrapies, each governed by a trusted satrap who ruled like a king in his own province. Feel the wisdom in this arrangement, local customs honored, local languages preserved, yet all bound together by Persian law and Persian justice. The gentle sound of flowing water from palace fountains mingles with the soft voices of administrators planning the empire's daily operations. Let your consciousness drift across the royal road, where Darius' messengers carry his decrees to every corner of the known world. His postal system moves with clockwork precision, fresh horses waiting at relay stations. Sealed dispatches bearing the royal cylinder seal traveling from Susa to Sardis in just 7 days. Picture the relief on a provincial governor's face as he receives new instructions, clear and practical, from his wise king. Feel the weight of the golden Daric coins that bear Darius' image. The first standardized currency in history, making trade flow like water across vast distances. Babylonian merchants count them with satisfaction, while Greek traders accept them without question. The soft clink of gold creates a peaceful rhythm in marketplaces from India to Egypt, all unified under the economic vision of one remarkable king. As we move through his architectural achievements, watch master builders laying the foundations of Persepolis. Darius' eternal monument to Persian glory, limestone blocks quarried from nearby mountains, each one fitted with mathematical precision. The sound of chisels on stone creates a gentle percussion, while artists carve reliefs that will inspire wonder for millennia. Lions and bulls dance eternally in marble, their forms so perfect they seem to breathe. Picture the great king receiving tribute in the audience hall. Representatives from across the empire approach his throne with gifts. Scythians bringing gold, Indians offering ivory, Nubians presenting exotic animals. Each delegation treated with dignity and respect, their customs acknowledged, their contributions valued. This is empire as harmony rather than oppression, diversity celebrated within unity. Breathe slowly as we witness Darius at prayer, kneeling before the sacred fire in his private chapel. His voice rises softly in ancient Avestan, thanking Ahura Mazda for the wisdom to rule justly. The flames flicker gently in the evening breeze, casting dancing shadows on walls inscribed with his moral code. I am a friend to right, I am not a friend to wrong. What a man says against a man. That does not convince me, until I hear the testimony of both. Feel the evening peace settling over the palace as Darius reviews the day's work. Tax records from distant provinces, reports of new roads being built, news of canals bringing water to desert regions. His empire grows stronger not through conquest alone but through careful administration. Each decision made with the welfare of his subjects in mind, each law crafted to bring justice to the oppressed. In the royal gardens, where 4 rivers flow in perfect symmetry, Darius walks slowly among pomegranate trees heavy with fruit. The scent of jasmine fills the night air, while nightingales sing from hidden branches. Here in this earthly paradise, the great administrator finds the peace that comes from duty well performed, from an empire governed with wisdom and compassion. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself absorb the quiet satisfaction of Darius' achievements. Feel his methodical wisdom flowing through your peaceful dreams. His legacy of good governance becomes a model for your own inner organization. The great king's administrative genius continues to inspire, showing that true power lies not in domination but in service. The palace settles into nighttime stillness. while scribes carefully file the day's documents, their work preserving the empire's memory for future generations. The stars wheel overhead in their eternal patterns, the same constellations that witnessed Darius' transformation of the ancient world. Breathe slowly, and let that administrative serenity guide you toward deeper rest. Chapter 8. The Behistun Inscription. Mountain message drift now to the towering cliffs of Mount Behistun, where Darius the Great carved his triumph into living rock for all eternity. Feel yourself standing peacefully at the base of this sacred mountain in western Iran, where limestone walls rise 300 feet toward the endless Persian sky. The morning mist clings gently to the ancient stone, while far above, the world's most magnificent royal proclamation waits in silent majesty. Why, picture the massive relief carved into the cliff face, 100 feet above the ground, safely beyond the reach of vandals and time. Darius stands triumphant, his foot upon the fallen usurper Gamada, while 9 rebel kings kneel in chains before the rightful king of kings. The winged symbol of Ahura Mazda hovers protectively above the scene, blessing this monument to divine justice. Feel the cool mountain air carrying whispers of ancient Persian prayers, thanking the wise Lord for victory over chaos and lies. Breathe deeply as we contemplate the 3 languages that tell this story. Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian, carved in neat columns across the rock face. Each script flowing like poetry in stone. The cuneiform wedges catch the golden afternoon light, creating shadows that dance across the ancient text. This trilingual masterpiece would later become the key that unlocked the secrets of forgotten civilizations, the Rosetta Stone of the ancient Near East. Let your consciousness drift upward with the mountain eagles, soaring past the inscription to see it as Darius intended. A message visible from the royal road below, where countless travelers would crane their necks to read the king's own words. I am Darius the Great King, King of kings, King of countries containing all kinds of men, King in this great earth far and wide. His voice echoes softly through the centuries, carried on the desert wind. Feel the reverence of the master sculptors who created this wonder. Suspended on ropes and wooden scaffolding, they worked for months to carve each figure with perfect precision. The sound of bronze chisels on limestone creates a gentle rhythm, while below, Persian guards ensure the artist's safety. Their dedication flows from love of their king, understanding that they create something eternal, a message that will outlive empires. As we explore the detailed narrative, watch the story unfold in stone. Darius tells of his rise to power, his battles against the 9 rebel kings who tried to tear apart Cyrus' empire. Each victory described with quiet pride, each enemy treated with dignity even in defeat. The relief shows not cruelty but justice, the restoration of rightful order, the triumph of truth over falsehood, light over darkness. Picture the sacred spring at the mountain's base, where Zoroastrian pilgrims have come for centuries to pray and purify themselves. The crystal water bubbles up from deep underground, cool and sweet, blessed by its proximity to this holy site. Persian fire altars burn eternally nearby, their flames reflecting off the polished surface of the pool, while the scent of frankincense drifts through the evening air. Breathe slowly as we witness the inscription's deeper meaning. This is more than royal propaganda, it is a moral statement. Darius proclaims his devotion to Ahura Mazda, his commitment to truth and righteousness, his role as protector of the innocent. The words carved in stone become a covenant between king and god, a promise to rule with wisdom and justice. The mountain itself becomes a witness to this sacred vow. Feel the timeless quality of this monument. While empires rise and fall in the valleys below, the Behistun inscription remains unchanged, its message as clear today as when the chisels first bit into stone. Alexander passed beneath it, Arab armies marched by it, Mongol horsemen gazed up at it in wonder, each generation finding in its ancient words a testament to the power of righteous leadership. In the gathering twilight, watch the shadows lengthen across the carved figures. The rebel kings seem to bow deeper in the fading light, while Darius appears to grow taller, more majestic. The stars begin to appear, the same constellations that witnessed the inscription's creation, their gentle light blessing this eternal monument to Persian glory. As night settles over Mount Behistun, feel the profound peace that radiates from this sacred place. The mountain stands as a silent guardian, protecting the memory of a king who understood that true power comes from divine mandate. The inscription glows softly in the starlight, its ancient message still whispering across the centuries, speaking of justice, truth, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself become part of this timeless story. Feel the solid rock beneath your feet, the mountain's strength flowing into your bones. Darius' words of triumph become your own quiet confidence, his devotion to truth a model for your own inner integrity. The great inscription continues its eternal vigil, watching over all who seek righteousness. The desert wind carries the scent of wild thyme and sage, while somewhere in the darkness, a nightingale sings from a hidden crevice in the rock. Let that ancient melody guide you deeper into peaceful rest. Breathe slowly, and let the mountain's eternal wisdom settle into your dreams. Chapter 9. Susa. The winter palace. Drift now to the ancient city of Susa, the magnificent winter capital where Persian kings escaped the mountain cold. Feel yourself walking slowly through the gates of this legendary metropolis, built on the fertile plains of ancient Elam, where the Shore River flows gently toward the Persian Gulf. The warm desert air carries the scent of date palms and jasmine, while ahead, the golden walls of the royal palace gleam in the afternoon sun. Picture yourself ascending the grand stairway to Darius' winter residence, each step carved from polished limestone, worn smooth by centuries of royal processions. The palace rises like a jeweled crown above the city, its walls adorned with glazed brick reliefs in brilliant blues and golds. Winged lions pace eternally across ceramic surfaces, their eyes watching over the administrative heart of the greatest empire the world had ever known. Breathe deeply as we enter the famous Apadana, the great audience hall where the King of Kings held court during the winter months. 110 columns once supported the cedar roof, each pillar crowned with capitals shaped like bulls and lions. Feel the cool marble beneath your feet as you walk across floors inlaid with precious stones. Lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, turquoise from Persia, carnelian from India, all flowing like frozen rivers through the palace chambers. Let your consciousness drift through the hall of Darius, where the great king received tribute from his 23 satrapies. Imagine the gentle rustle of silk robes as ambassadors from distant lands approach the throne. Babylonians bearing bolts of finest cloth, Scythians offering vessels of gold, Indians presenting ivory and exotic spices. The soft murmur of many languages creates a peaceful symphony, all united in respect for Persian justice. Feel the warmth radiating from the palace's ingenious heating system, hot air flowing through channels beneath the floors, keeping the royal chambers comfortable even on the coldest winter days. Persian engineers understood that comfort breeds contentment, that a warm palace makes for wise decisions. The gentle circulation of heated air mingles with the fragrance of frankincense burning in bronze censers. As we explore the royal quarters, picture the private apartments where Persian queens lived in luxury. Silk hangings from China divide rooms furnished with ebony chairs and ivory tables. The walls shimmer with glazed tiles depicting the eternal garden of paradise. Peacocks strut through painted groves, while crystal streams flow endlessly through emerald meadows. Here Esther, the Jewish queen, once walked these very corridors, her beauty and wisdom helping to save her people. Breathe slowly as we visit the famous treasury, where the wealth of nations lay stored in peaceful abundance. Gold derricks stacked in neat pyramids, silver talents from the mines of Anatolia, precious gems that captured light like frozen rainbows. The soft gleam of precious metals creates a warm glow, while Persian guards in flowing robes maintain their eternal vigilance, protecting not just treasure but the economic foundation of imperial power. Picture the palace scribes working quietly in their chambers, reed pens scratching softly against papyrus as they record the empire's daily business. Tax receipts from Egypt, trade agreements with Greek merchants, reports from distant satrapies. Their careful work preserves the memory of Persian administration, showing how an empire spanning 3 continents could function with clockwork precision. Feel the evening peace settling over the royal gardens, where 4 rivers once flowed in perfect symmetry through earthly paradise. Date palms heavy with golden fruit cast gentle shadows, while the sound of fountains mingles with the evening call to prayer. Persian nobles stroll along paved walkways, their conversations soft with the contentment that comes from living in the center of the civilized world. In the palace workshops, master craftsmen create objects of breathtaking beauty. Golden rhytons shaped like lions and griffins, silver bowls engraved with scenes of royal hunts. Silk carpets woven with threads of precious metal. The gentle tapping of hammers on gold creates a soothing rhythm, while artisans work by lamplight, their skilled hands shaping the treasures that will grace Persian palaces for generations. As night falls over Susa, watch the palace transform into a constellation of earthbound stars. Oil lamps flicker in every window, their warm light spilling onto courtyards where Persian guards pace their eternal rounds. The city below settles into peaceful slumber, protected by the benevolent presence of the Winter Palace, where justice flows like water from the throne of the King of Kings. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this royal serenity. Feel the warm palace stones beneath your feet, the gentle circulation of heated air carrying away all tension. The winter capital's luxury becomes your own comfort, its administrative efficiency a model for your own inner organization. Susa continues its eternal watch, preserving the memory of Persian grandeur. The desert stars shine down on the ancient city, while somewhere in the palace gardens, a nightingale sings from jasmine-scented branches. Breathe slowly, and let that royal tranquility guide you into deeper rest. Chapter 10. Zoroastrianism. Fire of faith. Drift now into the sacred realm of ancient Persia's faith, where eternal flames burn in honor of Ahura Mazda, the wise lord. Feel yourself walking softly toward a Zoroastrian fire temple, its white limestone walls glowing in the golden afternoon light. The air is sweet with frankincense and myrrh, while ahead, the sacred fire dances eternally in its bronze altar, never extinguished, a beacon of divine light in the darkness of the world. Picture the prophet Zoroaster himself, walking peacefully through the mountains of ancient Persia, receiving his divine revel. Asian beside a flowing river, the wise lord speaks to him in gentle whispers carried on the mountain wind, revealing the eternal struggle between light and darkness, truth and falsehood, good and evil. Feel the profound peace that settles over the landscape as this new understanding spreads like dawn across the Persian highlands. Breathe deeply as we enter the fire temple, where white-robed priests tend the sacred flames with reverent care. Their movements flow like water as they add fragrant sandalwood to the eternal fire. The flames leap higher, casting dancing shadows on walls inscribed with ancient Avestan prayers. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds, the fundamental principle that guides every Persian heart. The soft chanting creates a peaceful rhythm that echoes through marble corridors. Let your consciousness drift through the temple's inner sanctuary, where the most sacred fire burns in perfect stillness. This flame has been tended for centuries, passed from altar to altar, temple to temple, an unbroken chain of light stretching back to the prophet's time. Persian kings kneel here in humble prayer, their crowns set aside, equal before the divine presence that judges all souls by their righteousness alone. Feel the wisdom flowing through Zoroaster's teachings. Unlike the harsh gods of neighboring peoples, Ahura Mazda asks only for truth and compassion. The religion spreads peacefully across the Persian Empire, not through conquest but through the gentle example of Persian tolerance. Jews freed from Babylonian exile, Egyptians allowed to worship their ancient gods, Greeks trading freely in Persian markets, all protected under the benevolent umbrella of Zoroastrian justice. As evening approaches, watch Persian families gather for their daily prayers. Facing the setting sun, their voices join in soft harmony, thanking the wise Lord for the day's blessings. Children learn the sacred words from their parents, the ancient language of Avestan flowing like honey from generation to generation. The eternal flames in household shrines flicker gently, blessing each home with divine protection. Picture the great fire altars of Persepolis, where on festival days, thousands gather to celebrate the triumph of light over darkness. The New Year celebration of Nowruz brings people from across the empire. Babylonians and Egyptians, Greeks and Indians, all united in the Persian vision of cosmic harmony. Rose petals fall like snow from palace balconies, while musicians play gentle melodies on harps and flutes. Breathe slowly as we contemplate the religion's gentle philosophy. No forced conversions, no persecution of other faiths. Zoroastrianism spreads through example rather than sword. Persian governors protect Christian churches and Jewish synagogues. Buddhist monks travel safely along Persian roads. The empire becomes a tapestry of beliefs, all woven together by the golden thread of tolerance. Feel the profound influence of this ancient faith, its teachings of individual choice between good and evil, of final judgment and resurrection, of heaven and hell, flow like underground rivers into Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The Persian gift to world religion is not conquest but concepts, ideas that will shape human spirituality for millennia. In the temple's meditation chamber, Persian mystics sit in quiet contemplation, their breathing synchronized with the eternal rhythm of creation. The sacred fire casts gentle light on their peaceful faces, while outside, the stars appear one by one, each one a reminder of Ahura Mazda's infinite creation. The night air carries the scent of jasmine and wild roses, nature itself joining in the cosmic prayer. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this eternal flame. Feel the warmth of divine light flowing through your peaceful dreams. The sacred fire burns within your heart now, illuminating the path toward truth and righteousness. Zoroaster's gentle wisdom becomes your own inner guidance, showing that true religion brings peace rather than conflict. The temple settles into nighttime stillness, while the eternal flame continues its sacred dance, casting moving shadows that seem to whisper ancient prayers. The fire's warmth spreads through the marble halls, blessing all who seek the light. Breathe slowly, and let that sacred flame guide you toward the deepest rest. Chapter 11. The satrapies, provincial system drift now across the vast expanse of the Persian Empire, divided into 20 peaceful provinces called satrapies. Feel yourself floating gently from the shores of the Aegean to the banks of the Indus, where Darius the Great created the world's first successful federal system. Each satrapy governed by a trusted satrap, ruling like a king in his own domain, yet bound by Persian law and Persian justice. Picture the satrap of Lydia in his palace at Sardis, surrounded by the wealth of Croesus' ancient kingdom. Golden coins bearing the royal seal flow like water through his treasury, while Greek merchants trade peacefully in markets protected by Persian law. The gentle sound of fountains mingles with conversations in many languages, Lydian, Greek, Persian, all united under the benevolent umbrella of imperial administration. Breathe deeply as we visit the satrapy of Babylonia, where the ancient ziggurats rise like mountains from the fertile plain. The satrap walks slowly through hanging gardens where date palms cast cooling shadows. Cuneiform scribes record tax receipts on clay tablets, their reed styluses creating soft scratching sounds that echo through marble corridors. The Euphrates flows peacefully past palace walls, carrying barges laden with tribute for the King of Kings. Let your consciousness drift to Egypt, the richest satrapy of all. where Persian governors rule from Memphis with wisdom learned from pharaohs. The Nile floods on schedule, blessing the land with fertile silt, while Egyptian priests tend their ancient temples under Persian protection. Papyrus rustles softly in the river breeze, carrying reports of grain harvests that will feed the empire's vast armies. Feel the rhythm of imperial communication. Swift messengers ride the royal road, carrying sealed dispatches between satrapies. Fresh horses wait at relay stations, their hooves creating gentle thunder on stone-paved highways. News from India reaches Susa in weeks rather than months, while royal decrees flow outward like ripples on a peaceful pond, binding the empire together with threads of information. As we explore the eastern satrapies, picture Bactria's mountain valleys where Persian nobles breed the finest horses. Their manes flow like silk in the mountain wind, while shepherds guide flocks across high meadows dotted with wildflowers. The satrap's palace overlooks trade routes where caravans carry Chinese silk and Indian spices, the gentle tinkling of camel bells creating music that echoes through canyon walls. Breathe slowly as we witness the genius of Persian administration. Local customs honored, local languages preserved, yet all bound by common law. The satrap of Cappadocia speaks Greek to his subjects, while the governor of Gandhara uses local dialects. Each province contributes according to its wealth: gold from Lydia, silver from the Taurus Mountains, exotic animals from Ethiopia, all flowing peacefully toward the imperial center. Picture the annual tribute ceremony at Persepolis. Representatives from every satrapy climb the grand stairway, their gifts reflecting the diversity of the empire. Scythians bring furs and gold vessels. Indians offer ivory and precious stones. Nubians present exotic animals, each delegation treated with dignity, their contributions valued, their loyalty rewarded with Persian protection and justice. Feel the evening peace settling over a frontier satrapy, where Persian garrisons guard the borders against nomadic raids. Soldiers from many nations serve together: Medes and Persians, Babylonians and Egyptians, all united under the banner of imperial service. Campfires flicker in the gathering darkness, while guards pace their rounds along ancient walls, protecting the civilization that shelters within. In the satrap's private chambers, administrative scrolls record the empire's daily business. Population counts, tax assessments, reports of new roads and bridges. The soft scratch of reed pens on papyrus creates a soothing rhythm, while oil lamps cast warm light on faces dedicated to the peaceful governance of diverse peoples. This is empire as harmony rather than oppression. As night falls across the satrapies, watch signal fires bloom on distant mountaintops, carrying messages across vast distances. The empire breathes like a living organism, each province a vital organ, each satrap a trusted guardian, all working together to maintain the Pax Persica, the Persian peace that blessed the ancient world. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this vast administrative symphony. Feel the gentle efficiency of Persian governance flowing through your peaceful dreams. The satrapies continue their eternal service, showing that diversity and unity can flourish together. Their legacy of tolerance becomes your own inner harmony. The stars wheel overhead in their ancient patterns, the same constellations that once guided Persian messengers across desert highways. Let their gentle light carry you deeper into restorative sleep. Breathe slowly, and let that administrative serenity settle into your very soul. Chapter 12. Xerxes and the Greek Wars. Eastern ambitions drift now to the shores of the Hellespont, where Xerxes the Great prepared to bridge two continents in his quest to complete his father's vision. Feel yourself standing peacefully on the Asian shore, watching as Persian engineers work with quiet dedication to span the narrow strait. The morning mist rises gently from the water, while the sound of hammers on wood creates a rhythmic melody that echoes across the ancient waterway. Picture the young King Xerxes in his silk pavilion, studying maps of distant Greece. His father Darius had fallen at Marathon, leaving unfinished the task of bringing Greek independence under Persian protection. The gentle rustle of papyrus mingles with the soft voices of his advisors. Persian, Median, and Babylonian nobles offering counsel with respectful wisdom. The scent of frankincense drifts through the tent, blessing their peaceful deliberations. Breathe deeply as we witness the greatest army ever assembled. 1,000,000 men from across the empire gathering like a vast river of humanity. Persians in flowing robes march alongside Median cavalry. Egyptian marines walk with Phoenician sailors. Indian elephants trumpet softly while Scythian archers check their hornbows. This is not conquest but completion, the final act in uniting the civilized world under Persian peace. Let your consciousness drift across the completed bridges. 2 parallel spans stretching nearly a mile across the Hellespont. Boats lashed together with cables of flax and papyrus. Planks laid smooth for the passage of the imperial host. Feel the gentle sway beneath your feet as Persian soldiers cross in perfect formation, their bronze shields glinting in the morning sun, while priests offer prayers for a swift and merciful campaign. Feel the weight of Xerxes' responsibility as he stands at the crossroads of continents. Behind him lies the greatest empire in history, 23 satrapies stretching from India to Egypt. Ahead waits stubborn Greece, small but proud, refusing the benefits of Persian civilization. The king's decision flows not from anger but from duty, the sacred obligation to bring order to chaos, peace to a fractured world. As we follow the Persian host into Europe, picture their disciplined advance through Thrace. Local tribes submit peacefully, offering earth and water as tokens of acceptance. Persian engineers build roads and bridges, leaving behind infrastructure that will serve these lands for centuries. The army moves like a gentle tide, overwhelming but not destructive, seeking submission rather than annihilation. Breathe slowly as we witness the stand at Thermopylae, where 300 Spartans choose death over surrender. Xerxes watches from his golden throne, respecting their courage even as he mourns the necessity of their destruction. The narrow pass echoes with the clash of bronze on bronze, while Persian arrows darken the sky like storm clouds. Honor meets honor in this tragic collision of civilizations. Picture the burning of Athens, empty now of its citizens who fled to their ships. Persian soldiers walk through abandoned streets, their footsteps echoing in marble temples. Xerxes stands on the Acropolis, gazing out over the wine-dark sea where Greek triremes wait like wolves. The wind carries the scent of olive groves and wild thyme, while smoke rises from the city that chose resistance over reason. Feel the turning tide at Salamis, where Greek cunning meets Persian might in the narrow straits. The king watches from his silver chair as his ships crowd together in the confined waters. Phoenician vessels ram Egyptian galleys in the chaos, while Greek triremes dart between them like deadly dolphins. The sea turns red with sunset and blood, marking the moment when Persian dreams of Western Empire began to fade. As autumn approaches, watch Xerxes make his difficult decision. The army too vast to winter in hostile Greece, the fleet too damaged to control the seas. With the wisdom of his ancestors, he chooses strategic withdrawal over stubborn persistence. The bridges across the Hellespont carry the imperial host homeward, their mission incomplete but their honor intact. Picture the king's return to Persepolis, where he channels his energies into peaceful pursuits. New palaces rise from the plateau, their columns reaching toward heaven like prayers in stone. Artists create reliefs of eternal beauty, while Persian gardens bloom with roses and jasmine. The empire continues to prosper, its western borders secure even if not expanded. In the royal chambers, Xerxes reflects on the lessons of the Greek campaign. Some peoples prefer independence to prosperity, some cities choose destruction over submission. The Persian way of tolerance must accept even the choice to remain outside the empire's embrace. This too is wisdom, understanding the limits of even benevolent power. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself find peace in Xerxes' acceptance. Feel his mature wisdom flowing through your tranquil dreams. The great king learned that true strength sometimes means knowing when not to use it. His legacy becomes one of understanding rather than conquest, showing that even failure can teach valuable lessons. The Persian stars shine down on Persepolis, while in the royal gardens, nightingales sing from pomegranate trees. Breathe slowly, and let that hard-won serenity guide you toward deeper rest. Chapter 13. The Apadana, Hall of Nations. Drift now into the most magnificent audience hall ever built, the Great Apadana of Persepolis, where the King of Kings received tribute from the corners of the earth. Feel yourself walking slowly across the vast stone platform, your footsteps echoing softly against limestone worn smooth by centuries of royal ceremonies. The afternoon sun slants through towering columns, casting gentle patterns of light and shadow across the ancient floor. Picture yourself standing beneath the soaring roof, supported by 36 columns that reach 70 feet toward the Persian sky. Each pillar crowned with magnificent capitals carved in the shape of bulls and lions, their stone eyes gazing eternally across the empire they once protected. The hall could hold 10,000 people, all gathered in peaceful assembly to witness the majesty of Persian civilization. The gentle desert breeze flows between the columns, carrying whispers of ancient ceremonies. Breathe deeply as we witness the great New Year celebration. Representatives from 23 nations climbing the ceremonial stairway, their footsteps creating a soft rhythm on polished stone. Babylonians carry bolts of finest silk. Scythians bear vessels of gold. Indians present ivory tusks and precious stones. Each delegation moves with dignified grace, their gifts reflecting the voluntary submission of free peoples to Persian justice. Let your consciousness drift along the eastern stairway, where eternal processions are carved forever in stone. Feel the cool limestone beneath your fingers as you trace the reliefs. Lydians leading horses with flowing manes. Armenians carrying silver rhytons. Egyptians bearing tribute of linen and gold. Each figure moves with timeless elegance, representing the harmony that Persian rule brought to the ancient world. As we explore the hall's perfect acoustics, imagine the gentle murmur of many languages blending into a symphony of human diversity. Persian nobles speak softly with Median princes, while Egyptian princes converse with Babylonian astronomers. The sound rises and falls like ocean waves, all voices united in respect for the throne that sits at the hall's eastern end, where the King of Kings dispensed justice with wisdom learned from Ahura Mazda. Picture the throne itself, carved from a single block of dark stone, its back rising like a mountain peak. Here Darius and Xerxes held court, their golden crowns catching the light that streamed through the forest of columns. Persian guards in flowing robes stood at attention, their spears topped with pomegranates of silver, while incense burned in bronze braziers, filling the vast space with the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. Feel the weight of ceremony as tribute-bearers approach the royal presence. Their movements choreographed by centuries of tradition, each step measured, each gesture meaningful. The soft rustle of silk robes mingles with the gentle clink of golden ornaments, while Persian musicians play melodies on harps and flutes, their music floating upward through the columns like prayers offered to the eternal sky. Breathe slowly as we contemplate the hall's deeper meaning. This is empire as harmony rather than oppression, diversity celebrated within unity. The reliefs show no scenes of conquest or submission, but rather willing participation in a greater civilization. Each nation contributes its gifts freely, understanding that Persian protection brings prosperity and peace to all who accept it. As evening approaches, watch the setting sun transform the Apadana into a cathedral of golden light. The limestone columns glow like amber, while shadows dance across the carved processions. Persian nobles gather for the evening meal, their conversations soft with the contentment that comes from living at the center of the civilized world. The scent of roasted lamb and saffron rice drifts through the cooling air. In the gathering twilight, feel the profound peace that settles over this sacred space. The Great Hall has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the tribute of nations, the wisdom of kings who understood that true power comes from service to justice. Its columns stand as eternal witnesses to the Persian vision of world order, where strength protects the weak and wisdom guides the strong. Picture the hall as it once was during the great festivals. Carpets from Babylon covering the stone floor, silk banners hanging between the columns, thousands of oil lamps creating a constellation of earthbound stars. The King of Kings rising from his throne to address the assembled nations, his voice carrying across the vast space, speaking words of welcome to all who sought the shelter of Persian peace. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this eternal assembly. Feel the cool marble beneath your feet, the gentle circulation of desert air carrying away all worldly concerns. The Apadana's timeless harmony becomes your own inner peace, its celebration of diversity a model for your own acceptance of life's many voices. The stars appear one by one above the ruined columns, the same constellations that once blessed Persian ceremonies, while somewhere in the darkness, the wind carries echoes of ancient music. Breathe slowly, and let that imperial serenity guide you toward the deepest rest. Chapter 14. The Gate of All Nations, Gateway to Glory. Drift now to the magnificent entrance of Persepolis, where the Gate of All Nations stands as the eternal doorway to Persian glory. Feel yourself approaching this monumental gateway, built by Xerxes to welcome visitors from every corner of the known world. The massive stone blocks rise 40 feet above the ceremonial platform, their surfaces polished smooth by desert winds and countless centuries of pilgrims seeking audience with the King of Kings. Picture the great winged bulls that guard the entrance, their human heads crowned with elaborate headdresses, their stone eyes gazing serenely across the empire they protect. These colossal lamassu stand 20 feet tall, carved from single blocks of limestone, their wings spread wide in eternal blessing. Feel the cool shadow they cast as you pass beneath their watchful presence, entering the sacred precinct where Persian kings once held court. Breathe deeply as we read the trilingual inscription above the doorway. Xerxes' own words carved in Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian, "By the grace of Ahura Mazda, this gate of all nations I built. Much else that is beautiful was built in this Persepolis which I built and my father built." The ancient cuneiform catches the golden afternoon light, each wedge-shaped mark telling the story of imperial ambition fulfilled through divine blessing. Let your consciousness drift through the gateway's central chamber, where visiting dignitaries once waited in reverent anticipation. The vaulted ceiling soars overhead, supported by 4 massive columns, their capitals carved with intricate lotus designs. Persian guards in flowing robes once stood at attention here, their bronze spears gleaming in the filtered sunlight, while the soft murmur of many languages created a gentle symphony of international diplomacy. Feel the weight of history as countless delegations passed through this sacred portal. Babylonian astronomers carrying star charts, Egyptian priests bearing sacred texts, Greek philosophers seeking Persian wisdom, Indian merchants offering precious gems, each visitor humbled by the gateway's majesty, understanding that they entered not just a palace but the center of the civilized world. As we explore the guardian chambers, picture the ceremonial preparations that once took place here. Persian nobles adjusting their silk robes, foreign ambassadors rehearsing their presentations. The scent of frankincense and myrrh fills the air, while servants offer cool water from silver ewers. The gentle sound of fountains mingles with whispered conversations in dozens of languages, all united by respect for Persian hospitality. Breathe slowly as we witness the daily processions, morning light streaming through the eastern entrance as tribute bearers begin their approach. The soft shuffle of sandaled feet on polished stone, the gentle clink of golden ornaments, the rustle of silk banners in the desert breeze. Each delegation moves with measured dignity, their gifts carefully arranged, their hearts filled with anticipation of royal audience. Picture the gateway at sunset, when the limestone glows like amber in the fading light. Persian torchbearers kindle oil lamps in bronze sconces, their flames dancing against the carved reliefs. The winged bulls seem to breathe in the flickering light, their stone features softened by shadow and flame. Night guards take their positions, beginning the eternal vigil that protects the sleeping palace. Feel the profound symbolism embedded in every stone. This is more than architecture, it is philosophy made manifest. The gate welcomes all nations equally, reflecting the Persian belief that diversity strengthens rather than weakens the empire. No people are turned away, no customs scorned, all are invited to participate in the greater harmony of Persian civilization. In the quiet hours before dawn, when the palace sleeps and only the guards remain wakeful, the gateway stands in silent majesty. Its massive stones have witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the tribute of nations, the wisdom of kings who understood that true greatness comes from inclusion rather than exclusion. The desert stars shine down through the open roof, blessing this eternal threshold. As morning approaches, watch the first light touch the eastern face of the gateway. The carved inscriptions seem to glow with inner fire, while the winged bulls cast long shadows across the ceremonial platform. A new day begins at Persepolis, bringing fresh opportunities for diplomacy and trade, for the peaceful exchange of ideas that made the Persian Empire the wonder of the ancient world. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself pass through this eternal gateway. Feel the massive stones blessing your passage, the winged guardians watching over your journey. The gate of all nations becomes your own doorway to inner peace, its welcoming spirit a model for your own acceptance of life's diversity. The morning breeze carries the scent of wild roses and jasmine, while somewhere beyond the gateway, the eternal flames of Zoroastrian altars dance in their bronze braziers. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient welcome guide you toward deeper tranquility. Chapter 15. Persian Gardens. Paradise on earth. Drift now into the most beautiful gardens ever created, the Persian Paradisa, where earthly paradise bloomed in perfect harmony. Feel yourself walking softly along paved pathways where Persian kings once strolled in peaceful contemplation. The morning dew glistens on rose petals like scattered diamonds, while the gentle sound of flowing water creates a soothing melody that has echoed through these sacred groves for centuries. Picture the fourfold garden design, 4 rivers flowing from a central fountain in perfect symmetry, dividing paradise into quarters that mirror the cosmic order. Crystal streams carry mountain water through marble channels, their surfaces reflecting the azure Persian sky. Date palms heavy with golden fruit cast cooling shadows, while pomegranate trees display their ruby jewels like offerings to the gods. Breathe deeply as we follow the water's peaceful journey. From the central spring, channels flow north and south, east and west, creating the sacred geometry that Persians believed reflected divine perfection. Feel the cool mist rising from fountains carved with lions and bulls, their spray catching rainbow light in the afternoon sun. The sound of cascading water mingles with the soft rustle of cypress branches swaying in the desert breeze. Let your consciousness drift through groves of jasmine and wild roses, where Persian nobles once held court beneath flowering canopies. Silk cushions scattered on Persian carpets, golden ewers filled with cool sherbet. The air sweet with the fragrance of orange blossoms and frankincense, while peacocks strut across manicured lawns, their jeweled tails fanned in eternal display of natural beauty. Feel the wisdom embedded in every planted tree. Persian gardeners understood that paradise must engage all the senses. The sight of flowing water, the sound of singing birds, the scent of blooming flowers, the taste of fresh fruit, the touch of cool grass beneath bare feet. Each element carefully chosen to create harmony between human soul and natural world. As we explore the royal pavilions, picture Persian kings resting in marble alcoves, their golden crowns set aside, equal before the beauty that surrounds them. Darius composed poetry here, while Xerxes studied philosophy beneath ancient plane trees. The gardens became classrooms where wisdom flowed as freely as the irrigation channels, teaching that true power comes from understanding nature's laws. Breathe slowly as we witness the seasonal cycles. Spring brings carpets of tulips and narcissus, their colors bright as jewels against emerald grass. Summer offers the shade of mulberry trees where silkworms spy their precious cocoons. Autumn paints the leaves in gold and crimson, while winter reveals the garden's elegant bones, its geometric perfection clear beneath the snow. Picture the evening gatherings, when Persian courtiers assembled for music and poetry. Oil lamps flickering in bronze stands, their light dancing on fountain spray. Musicians playing gentle melodies on harps and flutes, while poets recited verses celebrating the garden's eternal beauty. The night air carries the scent of night-blooming jasmine, sweet as honey, intoxicating as wine. Feel the spiritual dimension of these sacred spaces. Persian gardens were more than decoration, they were theology made manifest, earthly reflections of the heavenly paradise promised to the righteous. Here Zoroastrian priests offered prayers beside sacred fires, their flames reflecting in still pools, while the eternal struggle between order and chaos played out in the careful balance between cultivation and wildness. In the meditation groves, Persian mystics sat in quiet contemplation, their breathing synchronized with the gentle rhythm of flowing water. The garden became their temple, each flower a prayer, each tree a pillar supporting the roof of heaven. The boundaries between inner and outer paradise dissolved in the perfect harmony of human will and divine design. As night settles over the gardens, watch the transformation into a realm of silver and shadow. Moonlight turns the fountains into liquid mercury, while night-blooming Sirius opens its ghostly flowers. Persian nightingales sing from hidden branches, their melodies floating across the water like benedictions. The garden sleeps but never rests, its beauty eternal, its peace unbroken. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself become part of this earthly paradise. Feel the cool grass beneath your feet, the gentle mist from fountains blessing your face. The Persian garden's harmony becomes your own inner peace, its perfect balance a model for your own spiritual cultivation. The desert stars shine down through cypress branches, while somewhere in the darkness, water continues its eternal song, flowing from fountain to fountain, channel to channel, carrying the music of paradise through sleeping groves. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient serenity guide you toward the deepest rest. Chapter 16. The Cylinder of Cyrus. First charter drift now to ancient Babylon, where Cyrus the Great created humanity's first charter of human rights. Feel yourself walking slowly through the sacred precincts of Marduk's temple, where Persian scribes worked by lamplight to record the king's revolutionary proclamation. The clay cylinder rests peacefully on a cedar table, its cuneiform script still wet from the scribe's careful stylus, while frankincense burns in bronze braziers, blessing this moment when mercy became law. Picture Cyrus himself dictating the sacred words, his voice gentle but firm as he proclaims freedom for the enslaved peoples of Babylon. I am Cyrus, king of the world, great king, legitimate king, king of Babylon, king of Sumer and Akkad, king of the four rims of the earth. The ancient Akkadian flows like honey from his lips, each word carefully chosen to heal the wounds left by previous conquerors. Breathe deeply as we witness the cylinder's creation. Master craftsmen roll the soft clay with practiced hands, their movements flowing like water as they shape the vessel that will carry Cyrus' message through eternity. The scribe's reed stylus moves with reverent precision, each cuneiform wedge pressed into the clay with the weight of divine inspiration. The workshop fills with the earthy scent of river clay and the sweet smoke of cedar oil lamps. Let your consciousness drift through the revolutionary words being inscribed. I return to these sacred cities on the other side of the Tigris, the sanctuaries of which have been ruins for a long time, the images which used to live therein, and established for them permanent sanctuaries. Feel the profound compassion flowing through each line. As Cyrus promises to restore temples, return sacred objects, and allow displaced peoples to rebuild their ancient homes. As we explore the cylinder's deeper meaning, picture the Jewish exiles receiving news of their freedom. Tears of joy flowing down weathered faces as they learn they can return to Jerusalem, rebuild their temple, restore their ancient worship. The Persian king becomes their Messiah, their anointed liberator, showing that true greatness comes not from conquest but from acts of mercy that echo through generations. Feel the gentle revolution spreading across the empire. Babylonian priests blessing the Persian king who restored their temples. Egyptian scribes recording gratitude for the return of their sacred statues. Greek cities celebrating the ruler who allowed them to keep their ancient laws. The cylinder's principles flow like underground rivers, surfacing wherever Persian rule brings tolerance instead of oppression. Breathe slowly as we witness the document's careful preservation. Persian archivists wrap the precious cylinder in silk, placing it in cedar boxes lined with silver. The temple treasury becomes its sanctuary, where future generations can read the words that changed the world. Oil lamps burn eternally before the archive, their flames dancing like prayers offered for the wisdom of just rulers. Picture the cylinder's influence spreading through time, its principles inspiring the Magna Carta, the American Declaration of Independence, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Cyrus' ancient words echo in every law that protects the innocent, every statute that guarantees freedom of worship, every charter that proclaims the dignity of human souls. The clay vessel becomes a fountain of justice, its waters never running dry. As evening settles over Babylon, watch Persian guards maintaining their vigil over the temple archives. Their footsteps echo softly on marble floors, while scribes continue copying the cylinder's text, ensuring its message will survive the rise and fall of empires. The Euphrates flows peacefully past the temple walls, carrying the news of liberation to distant lands, where enslaved peoples dare to hope for freedom. Feel the profound peace that radiates from this simple clay document. No golden throne or jeweled crown, but words of compassion pressed into humble earth. The cylinder teaches that true immortality comes not from monuments to power but from acts of kindness that outlive their creators. Cyrus' mercy becomes eternal, his justice a beacon for all who follow. In the temple's inner sanctuary, Babylonian priests offer prayers of gratitude, their ancient chants rising like incense toward the star-filled sky. The cylinder rests in sacred silence, its work complete, its message delivered. The clay that once lay at the bottom of the Tigris now holds the hopes of humanity, transformed by royal compassion into something precious beyond gold. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself become part of this eternal charter. Feel the soft clay beneath your fingers, the weight of words that changed the world. Cyrus' proclamation of freedom becomes your own inner liberation, his respect for human dignity a model for your own compassion toward others. The Babylonian stars shine down on the sleeping city, while in the temple archives, the cylinder continues its silent witness, carrying its message of hope through the corridors of time. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient mercy guide you toward the deepest peace. Chapter 17. Necush-e-Rostam. Royal tombs drift now to the sacred cliffs of Necush-e-Rostam, where Persian kings carved their eternal resting places into living rock. Feel yourself standing peacefully in the shadow of towering limestone walls, 6 miles from Persepolis, where 4 royal tombs gaze eternally across the plain of Marvdasht. The afternoon sun slants across ancient stone, illuminating the cross-shaped facades that have watched over this valley for over 2 millennia. Picture the tomb of Darius the Great, carved highest on the cliff face, its entrance shaped like a palace facade. Feel the reverence that guided Persian craftsmen as they worked for years to hollow out chambers in the solid rock. The sound of bronze chisels on limestone creates a gentle rhythm, while below, Zoroastrian priests tend eternal flames that honor the King of Kings. Their white robes flutter in the desert breeze like prayer flags offered to Ahura Mazda. Breathe deeply as we contemplate the carved relief above Darius' tomb. The great king stands on a stepped platform, his hand raised toward the winged symbol of the wise lord. Representatives of the empire's 28 nations support his throne, their figures flowing across the stone like a frozen procession. Each delegation carved with loving detail. Babylonians and Egyptians, Scythians and Indians, all united in death as they were in life. Let your consciousness drift to the inscription that accompanies the royal image. Darius speaking across the centuries in 3 languages: Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian. By the grace of Ahura Mazda I am king. Ahura Mazda bestowed the kingdom upon me. I am king by the will of Ahura Mazda. His words echo softly from the stone, carried on the mountain wind like whispered prayers. As we explore the other royal tombs, picture Xerxes resting in the chamber to the right of his father. The king who led 1,000,000 men across the Hellespont now sleeps in perfect silence, his earthly ambitions transformed into eternal peace. Artaxerxes I and Darius II complete the sacred quartet, their tombs facing east toward the rising sun, symbol of resurrection and eternal light. Feel the profound stillness that surrounds these ancient sepulchres. No grave goods disturb the royal rest, no golden treasures tempt thieves. Only the carved stone and the desert wind, the eternal flames and the wheeling stars. Persian kings understood that true immortality comes not from earthly wealth but from righteous deeds that echo through time. Breathe slowly as we witness the Zoroastrian fire temple below, where priests have tended sacred flames for centuries. The Kaaba-yi-Zartasht rises like a stone tower, its walls inscribed with the deeds of later Persian rulers. Smoke rises gently from the eternal fire within, carrying prayers for the royal souls who rest in the cliffs above. The scent of frankincense mingles with wild thyme growing in rocky crevices. Picture the pilgrims who have journeyed here through the ages. Persian nobles paying homage to their ancient kings. Zoroastrian faithful seeking blessing from the sacred flames. Even Alexander the Great stood here in reverence, understanding that he gazed upon something greater than conquest, the eternal rest of kings who ruled with wisdom rather than fear. As evening approaches, watch the transformation of the royal necropolis. The limestone tombs glow like amber in the setting sun, while shadows deepen in the carved recesses. Persian guards once maintained eternal vigil here, their footsteps echoing softly on stone pathways, protecting not treasure but memory, not gold but the legacy of just rule. Feel the weight of Persian history flowing from these silent chambers. 4 kings who expanded the empire to its greatest extent, who built roads and palaces, who freed the enslaved and honored all faiths. Their earthly forms have returned to dust, but their spirits live on in every act of tolerance, every gesture of mercy, every law that protects the innocent. In the gathering darkness, the eternal flames burn brighter, their light dancing on the cliff face like the souls of the departed kings. The desert stars appear one by one, the same constellations that blessed Persian ceremonies, that guided Persian armies, that witnessed the rise and fall of the greatest empire the ancient world had known. As this chapter draws to its tranquil close, let yourself join the eternal vigil at Nekush-i-Rostam. Feel the solid rock beneath your feet, the weight of centuries pressing gently on your shoulders. The royal tombs become symbols of your own inner permanence, their peaceful rest a model for your own spiritual tranquility. The mountain wind carries whispers of ancient Persian lullabies, while somewhere in the darkness, an owl calls from a hidden crevice in the rock. The kings sleep on in their stone chambers, their earthly journey complete, their legacy of justice eternal. Breathe slowly, and let that royal serenity guide you toward the deepest rest. Chapter 18. The treasury, wealth of nations drift now into the most secure chambers of Persepolis, where the wealth of 23 nations lays stored in peaceful abundance. Feel yourself walking softly through the treasury's stone corridors, where Persian guards once maintained their eternal vigil over the empire's accumulated riches. The cool limestone walls echo with whispered footsteps, while ahead, chambers filled with tribute from across the known world wait in silent splendor. Picture the great vaults carved deep into the palace foundation, their entrances sealed with massive bronze doors. Each chamber dedicated to treasures from different corners of the empire. Gold derricks from Lydia stacked in neat pyramids, their surfaces gleaming like captured sunlight. Silver talents from the mines of Anatolia arranged in orderly rows, while precious gems from India catch the lamplight like frozen rainbows. Breathe deeply as we explore the first treasury chamber, where Babylonian tribute rests in cedar chests lined with silk. Ivory carvings depicting scenes of royal hunts, their surfaces smooth as pearl beneath your fingertips. Bolts of finest cloth woven with threads of gold, their patterns telling stories of distant looms where master craftsmen worked by candlelight. The air is sweet with the scent of sandalwood and myrrh. Let your consciousness drift through rooms filled with Egyptian offerings. Papyrus scrolls containing ancient wisdom, their reed paper rustling softly in the gentle air currents. Golden scarabs and silver amulets blessed by priests of Memphis. Precious oils in alabaster jars, their contents still fragrant after centuries. The soft gleam of electrum creates a warm glow that seems to pulse with the heartbeat of the Nile. As we move deeper into the treasury complex, feel the weight of responsibility that Persian administrators carried. Each item carefully catalogued on clay tablets, every gift recorded in 3 languages. The gentle scratch of reed pens on papyrus creates a soothing rhythm, while Persian scribes work by oil lamp light, their faces serene with the satisfaction of duty well performed. Picture the tribute from distant Scythia. Vessels of hammered gold depicting mythical beasts, their surfaces flowing like liquid metal in the lamplight. Furs of Arctic foxes soft as clouds, amber from northern seas that glows with inner fire. The exotic treasures speak of vast distances, of nomadic peoples who chose Persian friendship over Persian conquest. Breathe slowly as we witness the Indian contributions. Ivory tusks carved with intricate scenes of elephant hunts. Precious stones that capture light like drops of liquid color. Sapphires blue as mountain lakes, emeralds green as spring meadows, rubies red as desert sunsets. Each gem carefully wrapped in silk, protected like sleeping stars waiting for their moment to shine. Feel the profound philosophy behind this accumulated wealth. These are not spoils of war but gifts of alliance, tokens of voluntary submission to Persian justice. The treasury represents not greed but gratitude, the empire's subjects offering their finest creations to kings who protected rather than oppressed, who honored diversity rather than demanding conformity. As evening settles over the treasury chambers, watch Persian guards lighting the oil lamps that will burn through the night. Their flames dance against walls lined with precious metals, casting moving shadows that seem to bring the carved reliefs to life. The sound of their footsteps echoes softly through stone corridors, a rhythm as regular as heartbeats, as eternal as the empire they serve. Picture the great ceremonial vessels used in Persian rituals. Golden rhytons shaped like lions and griffins, their eyes inlaid with precious stones. Silver bowls engraved with scenes of royal gardens. Crystal cups that turn wine into liquid jewels. Each piece crafted by master artisans who understood they created objects worthy of divine say. RVICE. In the deepest vault, the personal treasures of Persian kings rest in reverent silence. Darius' golden crown with its soaring eagles. Xerxes' ceremonial sword with its jeweled hilt. Royal seals that once authenticated decrees affecting millions. The regalia sleeps peacefully, its earthly power transformed into symbols of eternal majesty. Feel the security that emanates from these protected chambers. Not just physical safety but spiritual sanctuary. The treasury preserves more than wealth, it guards the memory of an empire built on tolerance and justice. Each golden coin tells a story of trade. Each silver cup speaks of diplomacy. Each precious stone reflects the light of Persian civilization. As this chapter draws to its gentle close, let yourself absorb the treasury's deeper meaning. Feel the accumulated wisdom of ages flowing through your peaceful dreams. The wealth of nations becomes your own inner richness, their diverse gifts a model for the treasures that lie within your own heart. The oil lamps burn steadily through the night, their flames protecting the sleeping treasures like guardian spirits, while outside, the desert wind carries whispers of distant lands where Persian justice once brought peace. Breathe slowly, and let that accumulated serenity guide you toward the deepest rest. Chapter 19. Alexander's Conquest. Empire's twilight drift now to the final chapter of Persian glory, when Alexander of Macedon crossed the Hellespont to challenge the greatest empire the world had known. Feel yourself standing peacefully on the plains of Gaugamela, where two civilizations met in fateful collision. The morning mist rises gently from the battlefield, while the sound of distant thunder speaks not of storms but of marching armies, destiny approaching on 10,000 feet. Picture the young Macedonian king in his tent, studying maps of the vast Persian realm. His keen eyes trace the royal road from Sardis to Susa, understanding that he faces not just an army but an entire world. The gentle flicker of oil lamps illuminates his weathered face, while outside, his companions sleep fitfully, dreaming of glory and gold, of conquest beyond their wildest imagination. Breathe deeply as we witness Darius III preparing for battle. The last Achaemenid king stands in his silk pavilion, surrounded by the regalia of centuries. His golden crown catches the lamplight, while Persian nobles offer counsel with voices heavy with foreboding. The scent of frankincense mingles with the desert wind, carrying prayers to Ahura Mazda for victory over the western invaders. Let your consciousness drift across the battlefield at dawn. Persian cavalry in flowing robes face Macedonian phalanxes, their bronze shields gleaming like mirrors in the rising sun. Scythian archers check their hornbows, while Greek hoplites adjust their armor. Two ways of war meeting in the dust of Mesopotamia, the disciplined fury of the West against the diverse majesty of the East. Feel the weight of history as the armies clash. Alexander's wedge formation drives deep into Persian ranks, while Darius fights desperately to preserve an empire built by Cyrus and expanded by his successors. The sound of bronze on bronze echoes across the plain, mixed with the cries of men who understand they witness the end of an age. As the battle turns against Persia, watch Darius make his painful retreat. The King of Kings becomes a fugitive in his own realm, fleeing eastward toward Bactria, his golden chariot abandoned, his empire crumbling like sand castles before the tide. Yet even in defeat, Persian dignity remains intact, their withdrawal orderly, their honor unbroken. Picture Alexander's entry into Persepolis. The young conqueror walks slowly through the gate of all nations, his footsteps echoing where Persian kings once held court. The treasury doors swing open, revealing the accumulated wealth of centuries. Gold and silver flowing like rivers into Macedonian hands. Yet Alexander weeps as he surveys the grandeur he has destroyed. Breathe slowly as we witness the palace fires. Whether accident or revenge, the flames consume the work of generations. Cedar beams from Lebanon crackle and fall, while glazed brick reliefs melt in the intense heat. The hall of 100 columns becomes a furnace, its carved capitals crashing down like fallen gods. The smoke rises toward heaven, carrying with it the dreams of Persian glory. Feel Alexander's growing understanding of what he has conquered. This is not mere territory but civilization itself. He adopts Persian customs, marries Persian nobility, attempts to blend Greek and Persian ways. The young destroyer becomes a student of the empire he defeated, recognizing in Persian tolerance a wisdom his own culture lacked. As we follow the last Persian resistance, picture Bessus and other satraps fighting desperately in the eastern provinces. Their cause hopeless but their courage intact. Persian honor demands resistance even unto death. The mountain fortresses of Bactria echo with the clash of arms, while Persian eagles soar overhead, witnesses to the final act of imperial tragedy. In the conquered cities, watch Persian administrators teaching their Greek successors. The empire's bureaucratic machinery too valuable to destroy, its postal system too efficient to abandon. Persian scribes continue their work under new masters, their knowledge preserving the administrative genius that once governed half the world. Picture the cultural fusion that follows conquest. Greek soldiers marrying Persian wives. Macedonian nobles adopting Persian dress. The conquerors become the conquered, transformed by the very civilizatio they sought to destroy. Alexander's empire becomes Persian in all but name, showing that ideas outlive armies, that culture conquers conquest itself. As this chapter draws to its bittersweet close, feel the profound sadness of empire's end, yet also sense the continuity that transcends political change. Persian wisdom flows into Hellenistic thought. Zoroastrian concepts influence Greek philosophy. The empire dies but its spirit lives on, transformed but not destroyed. The stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance, the same constellations that blessed Cyrus and witnessed Darius, now looking down on Alexander's restless sleep. The Persian legacy continues in new forms, its tolerance and administrative genius gifts to future generations. Breathe slowly, and let that imperial twilight guide you toward peaceful rest. Chapter 20. The legacy, tolerance and culture drift now into the eternal legacy of the Persian Empire, where tolerance became the foundation of civilization. Feel yourself floating gently through the corridors of time, where Persian ideals continue to flow like underground rivers, surfacing in every law that protects the innocent, every charter that guarantees freedom, every act of mercy that bridges the divide between peoples. Picture the revolutionary concept that Cyrus brought to the world. Empire without oppression, conquest without cruelty. Feel the profound shift as Persian armies brought not destruction but liberation, freeing Jewish exiles from Babylon, restoring Egyptian temples, allowing Greek cities to keep their ancient laws. The gentle sound of breaking chains echoes across centuries, as millions discover that submission to Persia means freedom from tyranny. Breathe deeply as we witness the cultural flowering that Persian tolerance created. In the markets of Persepolis, Greek philosophers debate with Babylonian astronomers. Egyptian priests share wisdom with Zoroastrian magi. Indian merchants offer spices while Scythian craftsmen display golden vessels. The empire becomes a vast university where knowledge flows freely between civilizations. Let your consciousness drift through the administrative genius that made diversity possible. The satrapies preserving local customs while maintaining imperial unity. Persian governors speaking local languages, respecting native traditions. The royal road carrying not just messages but ideas, connecting distant peoples in bonds of mutual understanding. This is empire as harmony rather than domination. Feel the religious revolution that Persia brought to the ancient world. Zoroaster's gentle teachings spreading not through force but example. The concept of individual choice between good and evil, of divine judgment based on righteousness rather than ritual. Persian fire temples welcoming all who seek truth, while protecting the sacred flames of other faiths. The eternal fire becomes a beacon of spiritual freedom. As we explore Persian artistic achievements, picture the fusion of styles at Persepolis. Mesopotamian winged bulls standing beside Egyptian columns. Greek sculptors working with Persian themes. The great palace becomes a symphony of cultures, each tradition contributing its voice to the imperial chorus. Beauty transcending boundaries, art uniting what politics might divide. Breathe slowly as we witness the Persian gift to human rights. The cylinder of Cyrus proclaiming freedom for the enslaved, restoration for the displaced, dignity for all peoples regardless of origin. These clay tablets become the foundation stones of justice, their principles echoing in the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Picture the Persian influence on later empires. Alexander adopting Persian customs, Roman administrators studying Persian methods, Islamic caliphs preserving Persian literature. The empire's body may perish but its soul lives on, transformed and transmitted through successive civilizations. Each conqueror becoming a student of Persian wisdom. Feel the profound impact on world religions. Zoroastrian concepts of heaven and hell, of resurrection and final judgment, flowing into Judaism. Christianity, Islam, the Persian vision of cosmic struggle between light and darkness, good and evil, becoming the foundation of monotheistic thought. Ahura Mazda's wisdom illuminating the path for billions of souls. In the realm of literature and learning, watch Persian scribes preserving the wisdom of ages. Cuneiform tablets recording Babylonian astronomy, papyrus scrolls containing Egyptian medicine. Greek philosophy translated into Persian. The empire becomes a vast library where human knowledge finds sanctuary, protected from the flames of ignorance and war. As we contemplate the Persian model of leadership, picture kings who saw themselves as servants of justice rather than masters of men. Darius proclaiming his devotion to truth, Cyrus freeing the oppressed, Xerxes respecting the courage of his enemies. These rulers understood that true greatness comes from lifting others up, not crushing them down. Feel the timeless relevance of Persian ideals. In our modern world of diverse peoples and competing faiths, the Persian example shines like a beacon, showing that unity and diversity can flourish together. That strength comes from inclusion rather than exclusion, that empires built on tolerance last longer than those founded on fear. The Persian legacy flows through the veins of civilization like golden blood, nourishing every institution that protects the weak, every law that guarantees freedom, every act of mercy that transcends tribal boundaries. Their empire of the mind proves more enduring than any empire of the sword. As this final chapter draws to its peaceful close, let yourself become part of this eternal legacy. Feel the Persian spirit of tolerance flowing through your dreams, their respect for diversity becoming your own acceptance of life's many voices. The great empire lives on in every heart that chooses compassion over cruelty, understanding over ignorance. The stars shine down on the ruins of Persepolis, while in the darkness, the eternal flames still burn in hidden temples, tended by faithful guardians who preserve the light. The Persian dream of universal peace continues its quiet work, patient as starlight, gentle as desert wind. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient wisdom guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. And so our gentle journey through the Persian Empire draws to its peaceful close. 20 chapters of ancient wisdom flowing like golden rivers through your tranquil dreams. Feel yourself drifting slowly back across the centuries, carrying with you the accumulated serenity of the greatest civilization the ancient world had ever known. We began with Cyrus the Great, the benevolent conqueror who showed that true strength comes from compassion. His footsteps echo softly through your memory now, leading us from the humble origins in Anshan to the vast empire that stretched from India to Egypt. From the Aegean Sea to the Persian Gulf, all united under the gentle banner of tolerance and justice. Let the magnificent city of Persepolis settle into your consciousness like a peaceful dream. Its towering columns reaching toward heaven, its carved reliefs telling eternal stories of harmony between nations. The Apadana's great hall welcoming representatives from 23 lands, all equal before the throne of the King of Kings. The gate of all nations opening its arms to embrace the diversity of human civilization. Breathe deeply as the Achaemenid dynasty flows through your peaceful thoughts. Darius the Great organizing his empire with administrative genius, creating the satrapies that allowed local customs to flourish under imperial protection. His royal road connecting distant peoples in bonds of commerce and communication, while the Behistun inscription proclaims his devotion to truth carved forever in living rock. Feel the sacred flames of Zoroastrianism warming your spirit. Ahura Mazda's eternal light banishing the darkness of ignorance and oppression. The fire temples where Persian kings knelt in humble prayer, understanding that true power comes from divine mandate, that justice flows from righteousness, that earthly thrones are meaningful only when they serve heavenly purposes. The winter palace at Susa settles into your dreams like silk upon marble, its heated floors and glazed brick walls creating comfort for body and soul. While at Nakush-i Rostam, the royal tombs gaze eternally eastward, their carved facades reminding us that even the mightiest rulers must answer to a higher authority, that death makes equals of us all, that legacy lies not in monuments but in the mercy we showed to others. Let the Persian gardens bloom in your imagination, those earthly paradises where 4 rivers flowed in perfect symmetry. Date palms and pomegranates, roses and jasmine, all creating harmony between human will and natural beauty. The paradisa becomes your own inner sanctuary, where the streams of consciousness flow in peaceful order, where the fruits of wisdom ripen in eternal sunshine. The immortals march softly through your dreams, 10,000 warriors whose true strength lay not in their golden spears but in their unwavering loyalty to justice. Their disciplined beauty reflecting the Persian ideal that power must be tempered by honor, that the strong exist to protect the weak, that true immortality comes from serving causes greater than ourselves. Feel the weight of the cylinder of Cyrus, that humble clay document that became humanity's first charter of human rights. Its cuneiform script proclaiming freedom for the enslaved, restoration for the displaced, dignity for all peoples regardless of their origin. The cylinder's gentle revolution continues to this day, inspiring every law that protects the innocent, every constitution that guarantees liberty. The treasury of Persepolis opens its chambers in your peaceful mind, revealing not just gold and silver but the deeper wealth of cultural exchange. Babylonian astronomy mixing with Egyptian medicine, Greek philosophy blending with Persian wisdom, Indian mathematics flowing alongside Phoenician commerce. The true treasure was tolerance itself, the revolutionary idea that diversity strengthens rather than weakens civilization. As Xerxes' great expedition fades into memory, carrying with it the lessons of ambition tempered by wisdom, we understand that the Persian Empire's greatest conquests were not of territory but of hearts and minds. Their legacy flows like an underground river, surfacing wherever justice triumphs over oppression, wherever mercy defeats cruelty, wherever understanding bridges the chasms between peoples. Even Alexander's conquest becomes part of the eternal Persian story, the young Macedonian transformed by the very civilization he sought to destroy, adopting Persian customs, marrying Persian nobility, learning that true empire lies not in ruling over others but in serving the highest good. The conqueror becomes the conquered, showing that ideas outlive armies, that culture conquers conquest itself. Breathe slowly now as the profound legacy of Persia settles into your deepest consciousness. Their revolutionary concepts of religious tolerance, their genius for administration that respected local customs while maintaining imperial unity, their understanding that true greatness comes from lifting others up rather than crushing them down. All these gifts flow through the center, eyes like starlight, illuminating the path toward a more just and peaceful world. The Persian model of leadership whispers gently in your dreams. Rulers who saw themselves as servants of truth rather than masters of men, who understood that earthly power is meaningful only when it serves divine justice, who knew that the strongest empires are built on consent rather than coercion, on respect rather than fear, on inclusion rather than exclusion. Feel your breathing synchronize with the eternal rhythms of the Persian highlands, where mountain streams carry the melted snow toward distant seas, where ancient cypress trees stand as silent witnesses to the rise and fall of dynasties, where the wind through desert canyons still carries whispers of Zoroastrian prayers, blessing all who seek the light of truth. The great empire lives on in every institution that protects the vulnerable, in every law that guarantees freedom of conscience, in every act of mercy that transcends tribal boundaries, in every moment when we choose understanding over ignorance, compassion over cruelty, unity over division. The Persian dream of universal peace continues its quiet work, patient as mountain stone, gentle as flowing water. As the last echoes of our journey fade into tranquil silence, let the accumulated wisdom of 25 centuries settle into your bones like warm honey. The Persian Empire becomes your own inner realm, ruled by justice, blessed by tolerance, enriched by the infinite diversity of human experience. Their ancient peace becomes your present rest, their eternal flame the light that guides you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. The desert stars wheel overhead in their timeless dance. The same constellations that blessed Persian ceremonies, that guided Persian caravans, that witnessed the rise of the most tolerant empire in human history. Let their gentle radiance carry you now beyond the boundaries of time, into the realm where all seekers of truth find their eternal home. Sleep now, peaceful dreamer, protected by the wisdom of ages, blessed by the tolerance of kings, carried by the gentle winds that once whispered across the gardens of Persepolis. The Persian Empire's greatest gift was showing the world that different peoples can live together in harmony. That strength lies in diversity. That true greatness comes from serving justice rather than self. Good night.